That was an interesting echo. I don't know if the camera picked that up. Today we're going to have a look at a pen from a brand that I have reviewed quite a couple of pens of. And this is not really a new pen, it's just a new finish. So I want to be brief, I want to talk about some points, I want to show you how it writes. TWSBI Diamond 580, sent to me by Joost Appelboom from Appelboom Pennen. 10% discount there, don't forget that. You can always check the discount code page on my website if you want to know. And this is the pen. Okay, so I'm going to quickly cover the parts. I have discussed the pen before, so I'm going to be brief. You can look up another review of my 580s, another one of my 580 reviews if you want to see more detail, but there we go. Box, simple. You get these cardboard boxes from TWSBI, which I've always really enjoyed. It's really nice sound here. There is this protective material. Of course, nothing really relevant. And then there is the TWSBI manual that you get. Nice, full color. Simple is in Chinese characters, maybe I should say Asian characters, as well as in English. Nice thing about these pens, of course, is the ability to to disassemble them. I've always enjoyed the box. Oh, this was actually stuck to the box. Which is how you can grease the more metal parts. You don't get that grease with the pen. The actual box, I'll come back to that in 1 second. Pen fits in there, and then you can take out the bottom part like that, and you get the TWSBI tool, and you get some silicone grease, so you can grease the piston of the pen, but not the metal parts. These TWSBI wrenches are very useful, also fit M800 and M1000 pens by Pelican. I always like to point that out because not everybody knows that, and it's very convenient to disassemble your pen that way. Then we have the pen. I'm going to cover the parts, right? So this is their new turquoise finish, which means it has a little aluminium/aluminum part both in there and in there, which I like. I'll come back to that in a sec. Top of the cap, you have the TWSBI logo, we have the clip, nice shape, and then we have the center band, which says TWSBI on one end, Diamond 580 in Taiwan on the other end. Barrel, piston filler, so ink in there, nice and long. Cap unscrews, piston turning knob at the end with that turquoise, and there we have the simple number 5 nib. Works well. It's not laser engraved, but has actual TWSBI logo and TWSBI engraved, and this happens to be a broad nib. Sorry, that was not a significant cough, that was just a cough. It's a nice pen. It's definitely, I would say, a larger pen. There's considerably smaller pens around, so I like the TWSBI size. If you want to, you can sort of post it, but the pen doesn't post very deeply, and I think it kind of looks just ridiculous. Also, there's the chance that the danger that if you pull off the cap, you will operate the piston turning knob and squirt ink everywhere. I simply think we can conclude that this is not a pen that was meant to be posted. And as I said, it's actually fairly large. It's not an oversized pen, but it's definitely big enough, for me at least, to use very, very comfortably without posting. The section, nice, simple, tapers down and then it flares out a bit. So a simple section works well. What do I like about the pen? What do I not like about the pen? As I said, I'm a little brief about the past because I've covered these in the past. It's nice that you get this purple color now. They have launched a whole bunch of colors that makes them collectible. It's also nice, see if you can find your ultimate favorite personal color and get a pen in that. I like the turquoise. It's almost a mint blue. It's a very light color, and I think they've picked that well. The pen writes well. TWSBI nibs I've always found to be pretty smooth, fun to use, and at 69 euros it's not a super cheap pen, but let's face it, that's not that horrible either for a piston filler with quite a couple of nib options, extra fine, medium, broad, and you also have a 1.1mm stub, which is quite nice. So you definitely have some interesting options, I would say. I like that. I like it's affordable. I like that it's a piston filler. I definitely like that you get the tool to disassemble it. I like that you get a little bit of silicone grease. Even though the bottle is not completely full, who really cares? It's quite a bit and that will last you a while. So it's really a nice package, I think. What about things I don't like so much? Well, as we know, and every time I bring it up, people rebel a bit, and I know that some people are really hardcore TWSBI fans. I'm not seeking to offend anyone, but TWSBI has definitely had cracking issues in the past. Is this pen going to crack? I don't know, because I haven't had it for years, but pretty much every TWSBI pen I have owned, apart from the VAC 700, has developed cracks at some point. Now, this metal is supposed to help with that. That's great. Let's hope that's out of the world. That's it. Other things I don't like so much. This weird metal ring at the end. I assume it's put in also to help with cracking, or prevention of cracking, I should say. But for me, I think it would be nice if this pen could post. It doesn't really matter because, as I said, it's big enough to use unposted. But this posting it's kind of weird. Now I know people are going to say, well, then you should get a mini. Yes, I know the mini does post, the cap twists into place, so that's all great. I'm just, if I have to nitpick, that's something I would say. Finally, I think my biggest issue with the pen is something that's fairly insubstantial, but this metal part rotates. The entire section can come off, and given that it's a piston fill, it holds a lot of ink, so quite a lot of ink would spill. It's not supposed to be unscrewed as you use it, of course. I also don't know if it really would unscrew. I don't see how that would happen. But the rotating metal, I would rather have seen that they would have made little plastic notches so that would slip in place and it wouldn't rotate. Because to me, I have the tendency to sit around with this and then start doing this, and before you know it, there's ink everywhere. And that's really not a big deal. It's really a minor thing. I think TWSBI has made a well-rounded pen, and I think they're doing neat stuff. I would like to see a different model again, maybe, as opposed to just a lot of different colors. Same thing Lamy does with the Safari. I'm not a collector in that sense. I don't care how many colors there are, but I know that this will appeal to some people, and especially as a gift pen, it's nice. Try to pick someone's favorite color. You give them a piston fill, you give them a well-made pen. So that's not bad. I hope that's, as I said, it's going to be crack-free, and then we're really getting there. Very nice. Joost, thanks again for sending me this pen. I really appreciate it. Measurements of the pen, as well as high-resolution pictures, as always, taken by the inimitable Gourmet Pens, will be on the website, sbrebrown.com, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Let's see how the pen writes. That's coming up next. Hope this was useful. I'm glad to see you later. Bye. Okay, so here we go with the TWSBI Diamond 5. Guys, I lost it for a second. 580. I wanted to say 540, but that was a previous model. That was a cap slipping off in it. Diamond 580. This is the broad nib. And the ink is Montblanc UNICEF. Okay, let's do some writing. The paper is Rhodia, for those of you who want to know. Writing is smooth. Let's see how well it fares quickly. Sacrificing all legibility just to see how well it keeps up, and there's no real skipping, so that's very nice. What about wetness? Not an ultra wet pen, but it's definitely a good flow. Line variation. I find this a fairly stiff nib. I mean, there is a bit of line variation, but it doesn't come very easily, and you really have to push quite hard to get that out. Reverse writing is really pretty scratchy, but I suppose for a few words it's okay, and you definitely take this broad nib to, I would say, a good extra fine. That's not even fine anymore. So if you really have to, I suppose you can, especially with a darker ink. And there you have it. So, I hope this was useful. Joost, thanks for sending me the pen. I appreciate it. And I'm glad to see you later. Bye bye.
Bye.